You're watching Pyro Media Network. Pyro Media family, thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience with us is fruitful. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. And we do hope you consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
What's going on, Pyromaniacs? We are back with another episode of Pyro Power Hour. Listen, we got a lot to talk about tonight. So, without further ado, let's get into it right here on Pyro Media Network. What is up, y'all? What is up? We are back. What is going on? Hello, everybody in the building. What's going on, Michaela? Thank you for joining. What's going on? Hey, boo. What is going on? What's up, Keats? How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for coming on through. Appreciate y'all. Do me a favor, y'all. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe. It does help the algorithm, and it does let people know we are loud, live, and in color. We have a lot to talk about on tonight. We got a fun episode, so I'm looking forward to chopping it up with you. We're going to kind of keep it less on the politics today, but we're going to keep it what we're branded to do. So we're going to get on into it. So without further ado, like our friend over at Conscious TV says, let's push on through, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. First and foremost, let me move over here. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and get, well, welcome everybody. La-da-da-da. Happy hump day to everybody. It is hump day. We're midway through the week. So if you're having a stressful week, go ahead and pray through it. We're almost done. We got a couple more days and then the weekend is here. All right, y'all. All right. So like I said, if you haven't done so already, hit that like, share, and subscribe. And if you are not following us or a patron on Patreon, make sure you guys head over to what we call the hotspot. It is where we are going to be dropping some dope content. So make sure that you guys are following or adding yourself to it. It's only $5 a month, so you don't have to worry about it. It's less than a cup of Starbucks coffee. So let's go ahead and get on through with some stuff there. All right, y'all. Listen, we got some breaking news. So without further ado, let's get into that. All right, y'all. So breaking news. First up, this is some craziness that's going on over here. So let's see what we got over here. So first up, there was a mass shooting that happened today. Pyro Media broke it this morning when it first aired. But there was a mass shooting in Fort Stewart, Georgia. So shout out to everybody that's in Georgia. I hope you guys are doing okay. What's going on, Dr. Holt? Thanks for coming on through. I literally just walked into the house life. I appreciate you. And we're actually, Dr. Holt is one of our Georgian pyromaniacs, so he is safe and sound. I did check on him when I heard about all of this. He is not even near, I believe he's 2 hours away from Fort Stewart, so thank God for that. And if there's any pyromaniacs out there that is near Fort Stewart, we ask that you guys stay safe, and we're praying for those who were affected into it. But let's go ahead and get into what's happening with this situation here. Take a look.
A statement from the Army Airfield, Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield. So I'm gonna read it and ask you a couple questions about this, Jack. So they confirm 5 soldiers were shot today in that active shooter incident in the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area. All soldiers were treated on site and moved to Wynn Army Community Hospital for further treatment. There is no active threat to the community. Law enforcement was dispatched for a possible shooting at 10:56. The shooter was apprehended at 11:35. The installation locked down at 11:04, so that would have been just 8 minutes after there were first a dispatch. And they said that the complex is still locked down. Emergency medical personnel, which I imagine, Jack, are ubiquitous around that base, were dispatched at 11:09. So within 10, 15 minutes, they were there. The incident remains under investigation. They are not expecting any new information to be released. But the good news is that there is no active threat to the community. The fact that all of this was brought together and taken care of very quickly, Jack, and that's not to diminish in any way the fact that 5 people got shot.
Okay, so I don't want to labor long because I do have an update. This did happen earlier today, so I do want to update. I have a couple updates, actually. I have like an update that happened when we started getting the show running together, and I just got an update about 15 minutes ago. So let's go ahead and take a look.
And John Miller, our chief intelligence and law enforcement analyst, you found out, John, that this was a soldier just a short time ago. We're learning this is an Army sergeant who is suspected of being the shooter in this case. Tell us a little bit about what you're learning.
Well, we're learning he is a member of the military, member of the Army, a sergeant, and he comes from Jacksonville, Florida. He may be assigned to that base, but as Josh Campbell was pointing out before, you know, there's a couple of ways to examine something like this when it's fluid. Is it an insider threat? Was it an outsider threat? If it was an outsider threat, how did they get on the base? How did they get through layers of security? How did they bring a weapon? Those things peel away now. We're looking at someone who was likely assigned to that base, as Juliet points out, likely knew the people who are the victims in this case. That's not certain, but it's just as likely that he had.
So again, I don't want to take away and waste you guys' time because we did have an update regarding this. So let's go ahead and get into that real quick here. So we did find out who the active shooter was. The suspect, rather, is 28-year-old Cornelius Radford. He's an active duty Army sergeant, and the shooting occurred around 11 a.m. in the brigade area on base as reported. So 5 soldiers were wounded and later transported to off-base medical facilities. So Radford is from Jacksonville, Florida, like reported, and he joined the military in 2018 and has never been deployed. So we can kind of rule out PTSD as Dr. Holt had a question. Hey, what's up, Cupcake? Thanks for joining in. Wait a minute. Ain't nobody told me to come to work. You better make sure. Well, that time, I'm glad you said that, Cupcake, because if you are not on Pyro Power Hour or Pyro Media Networks, rather, text line, you guys can go ahead and text Blaze to 833-793-2423. Again, that's 833-793-2423, and you'll get a direct text message when we go live or upload new content. All right. And then Timothy says, damn, I just knew he was. Listen, I was like, I'm glad somebody said it. I'm not trying to diminish or make light of the situation. Yes, Keats, prayers for the victims and families. I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but I absolutely was hoping and praying that he was like not one of us. But you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Well, it's usually another nationality, right, Dr. Hall? Exactly. But what do I always say? It's always something coming from Florida. It's always Florida. So he came from Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. He joined the Army in 2018. He has never deployed. The FBI, ATF, and the Army CID are assisting in the investigation, and motives remains unclear and is still under active review. So when we get updated, we'll update you guys, hopefully on the next Pyro Power Hour, or if it's something major, we'll go ahead and break it on Pyro Media Network as a breaking news situation. So that's the latest what's going on with that. Like I said, they were shot. I haven't heard that there was any fatalities. I could be wrong. So I'm praying that everybody pulled through, those that were wounded. says Timothy says we normally don't get off like that. Listen, man, listen. That's a whole nother conversation. All right, a whole nother conversation. All right, something else that broke today, or that's breaking today, is there's a massive central fire in California. It's another wildfire, and the massive central California wildfire keeps growing and becomes the state's largest blaze of the year. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on with that.
In California, not even 10% contained right now. It's already the biggest fire of the year in that state. It has burned more than 80,000 acres in Southern California. And right now, Santa Barbara County Fire Captain Scott Safechuck is joining us. Captain Safechuck, I believe, is joining us by the phone. Can you hear me okay?
I sure can, Jessica.
Thank you so much for being here with us. We're looking at video as we're talking to you. I just want you to set the scene for people. It's one thing to see this on television. It's something else to be there in person. What's it like?
Yeah, well, we've been experiencing temperatures in the 90 degrees with relative humidity below 20%. And our firefighters are working in a rural part of the county, and it borders Santa Barbara County and San Luis County. And there's steep drainages. We've got the forest and the wilderness that our firefighters are working in. And it's just super steep, rugged terrain with intense fire behavior. And as it heats up throughout the day, the coastal influence recedes, which allows for that fire behavior to increase, creating columns that have so much moisture in them and so much energy that it rises up to a high altitude. And the top of that smoke column ices out, collapses down, and then increases the fire behavior that much more and spreading it in all directions.
Yeah, and you can see by your description why this is so hard to get under control right now. The weather just not helping you at all. And I can't help but think about earlier this year, also in Southern California, in the Palisades and Altadena, firefighters, I would assume you all were there as well, working absolutely overtime to keep people safe. How does this compare to that?
It's a little bit different in nature, where the Southern California fires, such as the Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, they were really wind-driven fires that just pushed that fire out of the vegetation and into the neighborhoods. And once it gets established into the neighborhoods, under those windy conditions, it's so hard to stop it. And when the wind stops, then we're able to battle that. We're here, we're dealing with more terrain-driven and wind influence fires with a lot of old growth in those areas. So very difficult fires to fight, just kind of different influences on them.
That totally makes sense.
So I find it interesting, like a lot of people were talking about how, what everything that went down with the Eaton fires and the Palisades and Altadena, and you can't control these things. These are natural disasters, right? These are things that is out of our control. This is God events, right? And so, these are things that we just can't control. All we can do is work on policies and work on things to help try to mitigate the damage that these things cause. So I don't want to get into a blame game with policy and government, but there are certain things that I feel like this government can do, not just the state, but also just federally, because now there's Midwest states and southern states that have experienced wildfires as well, and so let's kind of figure out what the problem is and see how we can navigate through all that, and hopefully we can go ahead and handle things a little differently. We'll see how that goes. So that's going to be it for breaking news. What does Key say? The administration is gutting everything, absolutely everything. And it's getting a little wild, but it's going to be what it's going to be. All right, y'all, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but before we do, when we come back, we're going to get into the birthday celebrations real quick. You guys know it's Leo season, so it's that time for them. We love them, don't we? All right, praise Jesus. All right, let's go ahead and get into a quick commercial break, and when we come back, let's hit those celebrations and also some other segments that I got for you guys on this fun Wednesday hump day. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Hey, it's Pastor Kim from It's Just Kim Live Show.
and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
Are you ready for enlightening conversations that transcend boundaries? Get ready for Conversations with Clergy, brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network. In partnership with the world's largest publicly funded international collaboration, the HVTN is dedicated to evaluating vaccines to prevent HIV and COVID-19. But their impact doesn't stop there. The HVTN is at the forefront of advancing vaccinology, social and behavioral sciences, statistics, immunology, and even contributing to the research on tuberculosis and COVID-19 vaccines. By supporting Conversations with Clergy, the HVTN not only brings you thought-provoking discussions, but also contributes to the global effort to combat infectious diseases. Tune in, stay informed, and be a part of the change. Conversations with Clergy, supported by the HVTN, empowering conversations, empowering lives. Join us in this journey of knowledge, understanding, and progress. Conversations with Clergy, proudly brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network, because together we can make a difference.
All right, y'all, we are back by popular demand. Thank you guys for tuning on in. If you haven't done so already, you're just tuning in, or if you're watching on the replay, hit that like button, share, and subscribe, because it does help the algorithm, and it helps you join the fan. You know what I'm saying? All right, before we get into our birthdays, we got to do this annual, or this daily thing that we do always with the lovely Lady Cupcake. So her greeting for today is greetings to the Dr. Deacon, Pastor, Professor, Prophet, Apostle, Reverend, Elder, Overseer, Evangelist, Master Organist, Principal, Holt, ABCDLMNOP, Esquire. Wait a minute, he's an Esquire. Dr. Holt, you a lawyer now? I need your services. It's couple people I want to. Let's go. We gotta get into this. We gotta get into the show. Period. Right. We got it. Period. Thanks, Cupcake. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the things here, y'all. Oh yes. So let's hurry up and get into. It is time for the birthdays. So we only got one birthday today, which is totally fine with me. Okay, we're gonna celebrate the king that is. What's his name? Here we go. All right, the king that is Leslie Odom Jr. Okay, he was born on August 6th in 1981 in Queens, New York. Leslie Odom Jr., for those who may not know, is an American actor and singer. He has performed on Broadway and in television and film, and has released 2 solo jazz albums. He is known for originating the role of Aaron Burr in the Broadway musical Hamilton, a performance for which he won the 2016 Tony Award for Best Actor in a Musical and the Grammy Award for Best Musical Theater Album as a principal vocalist. His television roles included Sam Strickland in the musical series Smash, which was a phenomenal show, by the way, which ran from 2012 to 2013. He is also the author of the 2018 book Failing Up. Odom has been married to actress Nicolette Chloe Robinson. Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing your name. Chloe Robinson since December 1st of 2012. Their daughter, Lucille Ruby, was born on April 23rd, 2017. So happy birthday to you, sir. We wish you all of it. Wait for it. Yes. Who is he again? That's. Oh my God. And he's a prosecutor, so he busy. Who are you talking about? Oh, your brother is the lawyer. Okay, got it. Okay, sorry, I missed that last comment. Anyway, all right, y'all. So happy birthday to you, sir. We appreciate you and all that you do. I don't have anything else. Do I have? No, I do not. But I do have a question for the people. Okay. This is a very interesting question. I don't want no drama. I don't want no fights. I don't want nobody popping off up in the streets in the club here. Okay. Okay. Can we calm down? Okay, everybody, this is your opinion. All right. So the question is, who, in your opinion, is the greatest female R&B group of all time? In your opinion. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start out. And if you're watching on the replay, go ahead and put it in the comments. We appreciate you. So, in my opinion, the greatest female group of all time was in Rogue. Okay?
That's my opinion!
That's my opinion. Okay? Argue with your Miami. Anywho, let's see here. Okay, so I have a question. You want to go to Rashida concert? I do, girl. She is amazing. She is everything. Rashida is like Beyonce influenced. You know what I'm saying? Cupcake says SWV. Timothy says the Supremes, hands down. Every group has modeled after them. That's your opinion. Dr. Holt says the Caravan. Who the hell is the Caravans? Okay. All right, girl. Cupcake, take his mic. Go sit over there, honey. Yeah. Okay, can you sit next to Dr. Holt for a second? Do you need some water, girl? You all right? You feeling okay? All right, we love you, Dr. Holt. Who the hell is the Caravan? The Caravans where Shirley Caesar came from. Oh, okay. For, not too much, sir, Mr. Timothy. I didn't know that. Okay, that's not my age bracket, apparently. Michaela says that's in shot. I agree. I think that they're one of the greatest, but I see Keats agrees with me. Thanks, Keats. In Vogue is the standard. The quality is young. Yes, I am very young. Anywho, those stop it. The Caravans, all grandmothers of gospel. Okay, praise Jesus. All right. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Not too much, Dr. Hall. Cupcake, get him. Anywho, let's move on. I just said what I said. Okay, if whoever you feel is the greatest girl group of all time is your opinion, R&B girl group. Okay. Jesus. I mean, I can't even have an opinion in here. Rude. Thank you, Keats. Don't be jumping on him. Anywho, let's move on. Okay, let's get into Excuse Me. Because I saw this and I was really, really irritated. Okay, because I'm all about technology, y'all. I really am. But I think this is a little much. Okay, so as you guys know, Instagram is one of the leading social media platforms out there. So Instagram, you know, somebody in their brilliant minds decided that they wanted to have an update. So now they have a recent feature and they released it. It's called Maps. The Maps feature. Now, what, pray tell, is the issue, Kwame? Why do you have an issue with the Maps feature? I'll tell you why. So the Maps feature is enabling users to share their real-time location with friends within the app. This feature, similar to Snapchat Snap Map, allows users to see where their friends are located and explore location-based content, like places tagged by friends or creators. It is an opt-in feature, which is good. Meaning location sharing is disabled by default, and users must actively choose to enable it. Okay. Now, if you click on the Maps app or the Maps feature, it's where your chat is. So if you go into your chats, you'll see a bubble at the top, you know, where you see all the faces and whatever, and you'll see a bubble at the top and it'll say Maps. So you click on that, you can disable it there. I immediately disable mine because I'm not, you know how you're following each other? That doesn't necessarily mean that like we're friends. You know, me and Cupcake follow each other. We're friends. Me and Dr. Hope follow each other. We're friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not friends with everybody la-da-da-da. Just because Joe Smo and I are following each other doesn't mean that we're friends. I don't need you to know where the hell I'm at, girl. Like, that's not okay with me. Okay? And I feel like they're getting this, in my personal opinion. I feel like they're getting this from freaking Adam for Adam and Jack the Grinder and all that stuff. What does Dr. Hall say? So we're not mentioning Latina. No, we're not. So basically, another stalking mechanism. Exactly. No, nothing. No, I'm good on that. Me too. Letitia can sing, but that's all we giving her. That's it. Like, good job. We're over this. Okay, we're gonna move on. But yes, I'm not feeling this feature here. I don't think that this is something that we need to have up in the streets. That's just my personal opinion. Argue with your mammy in the comments if you have a problem with what I said, okay? Because at this point, it's my opinion. Who gonna check?
Who gonna check me, boo? I have.
Anyway,
You okay?
So anywho, so let's go ahead and move on. We have, let's see here, what's going on. Let's get into what's popping, y'all. All right. So first up, I don't know what you don't know any straight dating apps. Besides, I guess, Plenty of Fish. Is that one? Is that a straight dating app, or eHarmony maybe? Christian Mingle. Well, I don't think Christian Mingle is a straight dating app personally, but that's just, whatever. Let's move on. So what's popping? I don't know what's going on with Cardi B. I don't understand this particular thing. Y'all know I love Cardi B down. I do. This latest bop that she has on, I don't have any issues in my relationship. However, it's a bop. That song goes hard. Okay, so I'm ready to go outside with her. Not too much, because I am happily. Not too much, sir. Not too much. Go sit next to Cupcake, Timothy. Go sit next to Cupcake. Doing a little too much. It's full of. Thank you, Dr. Holt. Christian Mingle is full of gals. That's why I'm saying it's not something. Now the girls we are playing. Do they? How do you know, kids? Are you? How do you know? Anywho, let's go ahead and get back to Cardi B. Love you, Keats, forever. Let's get back to Cardi B. So Cardi B had posted this, and everybody's wondering what the hell's going on and what she's talking about. She said everything is documented. Everything. Now I don't know what's going on. If y'all know what's happening, if y'all understand what's going on, it's a little cryptic. I agree with her because I'm a Capricorn and I always have receipts with everything. Okay, so that's just me. But I don't know why she did that. I don't know what her reasoning was. But I think people need to leave her alone. Because what's her name? Tasha K. She understands now that Cardi B don't play around. There's a lot of people that Cardi B's not. Oh, is that what it is? Now we told her. I mean, okay. Was anybody listening? It's just me and y'all? Okay, listen. Michaela, girl, we told her to stay away from him. We warned her to say, hey, girl, this is probably not, the first 3 times that he cheated on you and you found out, you should have left. I mean, you should have left the first time, but, we get it. The D was probably good. We get it, girl. It's happened to all of us. But after 4 or 5, it was time to go. I'm just saying. It's that me. We get it, girl, but now she got new meat. I didn't see the meat, but I saw the man that the meat is attached to. And bless her. Okay, so Cardi said it's up and it's stuck. It's up and it's stuck forever. Forever. And did. Yes, Michaela. But yeah, so that's what's going on. If y'all know I don't know what's going on with her. We're gonna keep an eye out on her. Cardi, if you need anything, you can call us. We got your back. We love you, girl. Keep it cute. After 4 or 5, I'm pulling my. Listen, everywhere is not an open carry state. Okay, Dr. Ho, calm down. I was threatening people with a weapon. All right, let's move on. This skeleton we're looking at. Okay. I really don't care, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not that girl that's going to be like, oh, we're going to show respect to... No, you disrespect Queen B, you disrespect me. Okay? Because she ain't had nothing. She don't say nothing. She don't come on. She don't battle nobody. She don't speak to nobody. She just makes some music, do her thing, and opens portals. Okay? That was for the Tiffany Montgomerys and stuff. Anywho, but you know, she just minded her business. And then here comes this trollop over here, starting stuff. So apparently, she, y'all remember, I forget the girl's name. What's the white girl's name? Whatever her name is. She has a Levi campaign, right? And so, Trump was like, oh, all about like, she's, a registered Republican or whatever and all the stuff, whatever. But it comes to find out that was only a registered Republican because, her parents. But that's here nor there. Whatever. She seemed more liberal to me based off of some of the things that she said in her interviews. But that's here nor there. But apparently, Beyonce did a Levi's a campaign as well. And Megyn Kelly decided that she was like, oh, there's nothing natural about Beyonce. What you know about natural, Botoxia? What you know about natural, girl? And why are you coming for Beyonce? Nobody was talking to you. See, this is your problem, Megyn. Before I go there, let me just tell you what she said, okay? This is what she said. This is what she posted. This is the opposite of the Sydney Sweeney. Oh, that's her name, Sydney Sweeney ad. Quite clearly, there's nothing natural about Beyonce. Everything from her image to her fame to her success to her look below is bought and paid for. Screams artificial, fake, enhanced, and trying too hard. Let me explain something to you, Trollop. Okay? First of all, watch your damn mouth. Okay? Watch your mouth. Not Keith saying Piers Morgan Lorax looking. Not Lorax. Beyonce, just go live and cuss these out one time, girl. Just one good time. What did Timothy say? She shall do open portals. You better be careful. Listen. You right. Let me be quiet. Not opening. I don't want no problems, Beyonce. I don't want no problems. You know I love you. Okay, girl? We are steady praying for you. Praise Jesus. Okay? But Megyn, mind your business. No, I don't know what was the reason. Like, what was the purpose of you even saying anything to her? To even come out of nowhere, don't you have enough to worry about with Don Lemon on your ass and reading you for filth every damn night? Don't you have enough to worry about with your constant need for your roots to be re-dyed? Don't you have enough to worry about with the Botox seeping from your pores? Don't talk to me about what's natural and what's not, boo-boo kitty. Anywho, that's all I got, y'all. Well, that's all I got. We have like, wait a minute, what? It's only a half hour. No, we have the roundup after this. So right after this, when we come back, we're gonna go ahead and get into the roundup, and then we'll move on and end up the show with Let It Burn. Okay? All right, y'all, or Holding Space rather. So stay tuned. We'll be right back, and right after this. All right, y'all. We are Black by popular demand. Thank you guys for tuning on in. It is greatly appreciated. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the roundup, y'all. We have a lot to talk about, so I want to make sure that we have some time to break it on down. All right, y'all. It's time for the roundup. The first story of the day. Hold on. You got to stay allegedly. Listen, we got allegedly. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get into Kwame. All victims in the incident are stable. Thank you, Dr. Ho. I appreciate it. We got a little update on the victims at Fort Stewart, and they're all in stable condition via CNN. So thank God that there was no fatalities. We appreciate God just covering them and covering Fort Stewart. And we want we pray that there is immediate and a peaceful recovery as they come through on all of this, and God just cover them and just keep them, their spirits at peace, because this is not, getting shot is not fun, okay, or shot at even. So we just pray for everybody's mental stability and peace. All right, y'all. Thank you, Dr. O, for that. Shout out to our mods. Our gladiators. All right. Let's go ahead and get to the first story of the roundup. Now, we were talking about Instagram and their updates and stuff like that. ChatGPT said today that it will offer ChatGPT to federal agencies for $1 a year as part of a new partnership with the General Services Administration, which is the GSA. The announcement comes one day after the agency added OpenAI's artificial intelligence model to its government purchasing system, alongside Google's Gemini and Anthropic's Claude. Quote, one of the best ways to make sure AI works for everyone is to put it in the hands of the people serving the country. Really, girl? Anywho, let's get back to this, because that was annoying. All right. We're proud to partner with the General Services Administration, delivering on President Trump's AI action plan to make ChatGPT available across the federal government, helping public servants deliver for the American people, he continued. I'm not going to continue reading this because that's crazy. So basically, what you're saying is that you are now given the ability to create AI-generated things and putting it in the hands of the government, so they can go ahead and continue to manipulate the masses, and making it further difficult for places like or countries like Russia and our enemies like Russia and China to manipulate elections and manipulate the people. Is that what you're saying? That's what it sounded like to me when I heard that. And to do it for only $1 a year, what was your purpose? I mean, it's not like they can't use the technology anyway, but now you've said that they can actually, now you've given them carte blanche, permission to use it. Okay. All right. We're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna see how that goes. Let's see here. What else is next? Oh God. Speaking of y'all's president, I'm so sick of this guy. So apparently, you remember when well, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the news, but there's been speculation that Trump is going to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, who was convicted of sex trafficking minors with Jeffrey Epstein, and kind of corroborating with him and collaborating with him on those things. So he also has been just handing out pardons, because he pardoned all of the January 6 people. So he's been handing out pardons, and people have been asking him to pardon P. Diddy. He said that he wasn't going to, that he had no plans on doing that wasn't a part of his zhuzh, that a part of his thing. But apparently we could be wrong, because apparently Diddy's lawyers reached out to the Trump administration. Take a look.
Exclusive. One of Sean Diddy Combs' attorneys gives her first interview since his conviction last month, and she's giving an answer to what's been largely speculated about. Will Diddy get a pardon? Watch.
Have people in Sean Combs' orbit, have they had conversations with the Trump administration?
Yes. My understanding is that We have reached out.
Reached out is one thing. Having a conversation is another. Do you know if there have been active conversations about a pardon?
Yes, it's my understanding that we've reached out and had conversations in reference to a pardon.
President Trump, when he was asked about this pardon, he said, quote, "I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and he seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well, but when I ran for office, he was very hostile." And the president indicated that a pardon is likely not on the table because of that break in his relationship with Mr. Combs years ago. How is he feeling now about the chances of a pardon given the president's commentary?
I think that Mr. Combs is a very hopeful person, and I believe that he remains hopeful.
Joining me now is the reporter who got that interview, CNN.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but that sounded real sneaky. Okay? Because he was talking all he said not loud. Listen, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what, because he was all about like Trump this and Trump that prior to the situation. Now all of a sudden he's like, oh, help me out, Trump. Okay, girl. But I'm not surprised. Because look at who Trump surrounds himself with. Look at who Trump is always associated with. So like, why would that, he's always associated with criminals any damn way. So why is this a big surprise to us? Anywho, let's move on. Speaking of a shocker, okay, backpedaling and pee-popping. Yeah, hello. Because you know what? It just makes you look even worse to me in the court of public opinion. Anywho, speaking of shockers, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Miss Bleach Blonde, bad build butch body herself, okay, is turning her back against the Republican Party. Now that was crazy to hear. Okay, after years of being their number one spokesperson in an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail, MTG, who is the representative in Georgia, good luck, Dr. Ho, says she's not happy with how the party is, quote, turning their back on working Americans and straying away from their, quote, America First values. She even claims the Republican Party have become the, quote, good old boys club and have shut out the women of the party, something she all of a sudden cannot stand by. Girl, if you just now see this, girl, you're just now shocked. She says, I think the Republican Party has turned its back on America First and the workers and just regular Americans. Okay, she said this to the Daily Mail. Quote, like, what happened to all those issues? You know that I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I don't know what the hell happened with the Republican Party. I really don't. But I'll tell you one thing. The course that it's on, I don't want to have anything to do with it. And I just don't care anymore, she said, sounding frustrated. I think there's other women in our party that are really sick and tired of the way men treat Republican women. Girl, this is not new to you, girl. This is not new. I don't know why you're so damn surprised. You were all MAGA, and now all of a sudden you mad. You see, this is what happens because the leopards never thought that that they will eat their own. I never thought the leopards would eat my face. Let me explain something to you. When you are working around animals, you may get hurt because they naturally are evil. They naturally are predators, girl. So you've been working around the enemy for all this time. You thought that because you were a white woman that you were just going to go ahead and get like, you know, a pass? No. It's always been the rich white male nation. Okay? And you're so all of a sudden, which is crazy to me, how she's all of a sudden surprised that the Republican Party doesn't give a crap about the women or how they treat women in the Republican Party. Girl, you voted for women's rights to be taken away. So you thought it wasn't going to affect you? You're really dumb. You're really dumb. I mean, I thought you were stupid before because you were trying to play Jasmine Crockett, but you're really dumb. Like, you're really, really dumb. I need you to lay off the suntans, girl, the tanning beds, and all that stuff. Like sit down for a little bit and relax. Pete says she looks like those cavemen from the Geico commercial. Damn, y'all are vicious. I still would have slapped her like Angela Bassett slapped that white woman and what way next. Honey, listen. Good luck, Marjorie. We wish you the best. Not really. Okay. All right, y'all. It's time for holding space. Okay, because I don't. We only got 10 minutes left, and I want to make sure, or 12 minutes left, and I want to make sure that I give you guys all the space that we need for this. Okay. All right. So today, I want to talk about this right here. Giving up is not, I repeat, not an option. And what I mean by that is there's a lot going on with this country. We have, you know, a convicted felon, blatant racist, overall dumbass and man-child for president. Okay, racism is at an all-time high. Blatant racism is at an all-time high. Okay, incompetence has taken over DEI practices. Okay, there's a lot going on. But I keep hearing a lot when I talk to my brothers and sisters in the fight is that they're tired. And I want to tell you something. Our ancestors were not able to get tired. They didn't have a choice. And I'm not saying that you can't take time for you to rest, to recoup, to do what you need to do, but this is not a time to call it quits. This is not a time to give up. This is not a time to allow your voice to be silenced. This is not a time to have a situation where you are allowing the devil to tell you that you are not. Because one thing that I can tell you and promise you is that you are your ancestors' wildest dreams. And there's nothing I would rather be than Black. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You have all of the skills and power and everything you need to be successful in life. And there is not an administration. There is not a racist asshole. There is not microaggressions at work. There is not a homophobic neighbor. There is not anybody that can tell you different. There is not a hostile work environment. There is nothing that can tell you that you are not where you need to be in life right now. You are so much better than what you think that you are. And I pray that you see it inside of yourself, because your ancestors fought. Our ancestors fought for you to be here today, wherever you're at in life. So no matter how stressful your job is, no matter how stressful daily life is, no matter what's going on in the news, you are our ancestors' wildest dreams. We are beautifully and wonderfully made. So don't allow anybody to tell you different. Don't allow yourself to tell you different. That's all I got, y'all. That's it. Blow the trumpet. Yeah. Listen, if our ancestors can fight on a daily basis and have water hoses, fire engines, all that stuff being dragged through the streets, being tied to police cars and thrown in paddy wagons. And they fought, through the civil rights for us. We can handle a protest on a hot day. We can handle voicing our opinion on social media every day. We can handle calling our legislators every day. There's nothing we can't handle. There's nothing we can't do. That's all I got. Dr. Hull says, that's why I stay in inner city schools. Somebody got to encourage the kiddos. I know that's right. And listen, no matter what you're doing, no matter what job you have, no matter what where you are in life, no matter what your positions are, there is something for you to do. You don't have to be the Tamika Mallory's every day on day. You don't have to be the Hope Giselle's every day. You don't have to be a super activist every day. If that means you're calling your legislator, if that means voting, if that means letting people know and staying informed, so that way you can educate people on what's going on with the policies of your local, state, and federal, legislations, then that's what you do. But everybody has a way to make a difference. Everybody has a voice. You can get on here right now. StreamYard can be free for you. You don't have to pay for StreamYard like we do. We have companies and things going on. We have a whole thing going on, but you can just get on StreamYard and talk your stuff. You can go on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, and talk your talk. Because just like we need to be in the streets fighting against this administration, you can also do it on social media. It affects them. Informing and staying informed and staying engaged and not being like, oh, I'm tired of it. And yes, you can have a moment. I'm not saying to stay plugged in 24/7. You need to recharge. But don't let it be a situation where you're like, oh, I'm done. I'm tired of talking about it. They weren't tired. Our ancestors, our great grandparents could not get tired. Hell, some of our grandparents went through that are still alive today went through some of those situations. Dr. O says, you can save them all, but that one student that came back today and told me, thank you for staying on my ass, and he leaving for college Saturday, I cried. Like, I know that's right. And listen, our educators are so important. So when you get tired, when you're dealing with those kids that are having an off day and they're stressing you out, or you're dealing with the administration, or you're dealing with the irritable boss, or you're dealing with hostile employees and coworkers or whatever, when you're dealing with bullies on the internet, whatever you're dealing with, when you're going to Walmart or whatever, or going to the grocery store and you're dealing with somebody with a jacked up attitude, you are the one that can make the decision on how you navigate or not. You can change your environment. You got this. And don't let anybody tell you differently. I promise you. Because only you can allow that. We just talked about that on Monday. That you are the ones, if you watch the movie Sinners, you are the ones that have to invite all of that in. The devil can sit there and tell you all the stuff that he wants to tell you, but you have to allow that in. You have to believe it and accept it. Return to sender. Let me get off my soapbox, y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning on, and I appreciate you guys. You guys are everything. I appreciate you for all you do. If you have any comments to any part of the show and you're watching on the replay, please go ahead and put your comments in. Comment when we're not live, comment when we're live, do it all. We appreciate it. Stay engaged. And for all the new subscribers to Pyro Media, we appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of the Pyro Media family. It does mean a lot. So thank you guys. If you are feeling so inclined, you can go ahead and send a Cash App to Pyro Media. That's $ Pyro Media. Or if you're feeling so inclined to bless me on today, you can hit me up at Kwame C86. That's Kwame C86. And again, if you haven't done so already, join our gated community, The Hotspot. Go to patreon.com/Pyro Media, and I will see you guys in there for all my patrons. So I appreciate you guys. We got some new shows coming to the network. I want to thank you guys for coming on in, and I want to shout out to all of our new clients that are getting ready to launch their shows. Stay tuned for that. We got a bunch of shows coming for the fall season. August is all about gearing up and getting ready for them. So you'll be seeing all of those promos being launched on Pyro Media itself. So stay tuned for all of that. All right, y'all. Stay blessed, stay stress-free, and don't forget to stay engaged. So without further ado, we love you. Stay cool and have a wonderful evening. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.